Sometimes in this war, it is the smallest sound that makes the loudest statement. Siwar Ashur is 5 months old and struggles to absorb nutrition. Because of the blockade, the special milk formula she needs to survive is running out.
When I change her, her body is very bad and dehydrated. She's like a skeleton. Whenever I look at her, I cry. I cannot bear how thin she is.
Siwar 2 months ago. Children like her, who are already vulnerable, are in the greatest immediate danger from food shortages.
She has been suffering for a while. She had chronic diarrhea and she needed a specific type of milk. And most of the times this milk is unavailable. Nothing enters through the borders. No milk, food or anything. This leads to big problems here for the kids.
The UN calls Israel's blockade cruel collective punishment. Community kitchens helping hundreds of thousands have been forced to close. This one in Khan Yunis is running out of supplies. The other kitchens have already stopped operating due to a lack of supplies, says founder Mohammed Rajala. The main kitchen will run out of food in 2 or 3 days. Many of those that support us had their warehouses looted. Crowds breaking into a UN warehouse as desperation takes hold. Israel and the main Palestinian leadership say Hamas steals aid. Hamas denies this, blaming criminal gangs, vowing to stop them.
They shouldn't blame the people. There is no flour, no food, and the children need to eat. Unfortunately, there was no food in Al-Sana'a. The people found only ropes, so they left.
The UN says it has enough food waiting outside Gaza to feed 1 million people for 4 months. But a senior colleague of Mr. Netanyahu told me there was no aid crisis.
Right now there is food in Gaza, there is fuel, there is all what is needed. Now, Israel wouldn't do such a restriction if population didn't have food. I mean, I know my country perfectly well.
You're denying the evidence of people's eyes, starving children.
They're not starving children. No, I repeat again, never ever was such quantities of humanitarian aid brought inside. And what we want is our hostages back and Hamas out of Gaza. War can be over in exactly 30 seconds.
Gaza is just over there, blockaded and cut off from aid. But we can't go there to investigate the facts on the ground. Israel refuses to allow international journalists to enter and report independently. The humanitarian crisis has also helped spark anger on the ground against Hamas. Some who spoke out were attacked. We managed to speak with a community activist in Gaza who's critical of both sides over the suffering of civilians.
Israeli policies are trying to take advantage of the situation with aid and famine in the Gaza Strip to put political pressure on Hamas. It has become clear to whoever followed the protests that broke out in the Gaza Strip, especially in the north, that there is real anger towards Hamas concerning their practices and how they handle the war. The civilians here feel that the movement has risked their lives, futures, and existence on this land.
12-year-old Rahaf Ayad, malnourished and sick with the disease her doctors cannot diagnose. The first victims of hunger are always the weakest. Israel plans to have private security companies deliver aid, but hasn't said when. As the blockade goes on, no relief for Rahaf or 5-month-old Siwar, born into a war that's turning her into a fading shadow of herself. Fergal Keane, BBC News, on the Israel-Gaza border.